Hey, I am Emily. The case which I will discuss with you today is very, very famous in the whole of Russia for two things. First, its brutality is absolutely horrible, and second, the drug which the police there had sniffed for 4 hours. But I also want to know which intoxication has dried up on you people, because I had given a small target of 20,000 likes, but by the grace of God you people did not complete it. I am not enjoying it at all. Now the intoxication is on you. Come out and like this video. We are aiming for 20 likes again. Write it in the comments and also click on the subscribe button. Let's dive in. On January 13, 2021, 23-year-old Vyara Pok in the Comrade region of Russia, a girl named Talav was sitting on the bed with her roommate in her university hostel room and was explaining to her that I have received his call and now I have to go and get my stuff. Now when her roommate heard this, she felt very strange. I thought because he didn't feel like it sending Vera here to bring her stuff was actually a lot of Vera's stuff had been left in the house with whom she used to live earlier, and when she came back from there and shifted to the hostel room, she brought very few things with her, and she had called many times at the place where she used to stay earlier and said, "Give me my stuff, give me my stuff, I will come to get it," but the person who was staying with her clearly refused and said, "No, I will not give you your stuff right now, or else when I have time, I will call you and you come and take your stuff." So finally on the 12th of January, 2021, Vera got that call that you can come back here to take your stuff, and when Vera told this to her roommate, the roommate refused and said, "No, I am not feeling well. You should not go there to buy the stuff. There are no essential items. If it is like that, we will buy it from outside, if we need anything." But Vera said, "No, I have to go get my stuff." Actually, Vera was born in this Komarov area to a boy named Oksana and Richard. This happened at the parents' home, but as soon as Vera was born, both Oksana and Richard got separated, but the love of both of them for Vera was very deep, and even after their separation, the custody of Vera was with her mother Oksana. But Richter, on the other hand, was giving his full support so that he could give a good life to Vera in some way. In fact, Oksana had also got married for the second time, but still Richard used to send money etc. from his side continuously to meet Vera. I used to tell her that if you need anything you can tell me. Gradually, while living in the custody of Oksana, Vara completed her schooling and also took admission in a university in Komarov for higher studies, and now her studies were going very well. But while studying in the same university, in the year 2019, Vera met a boy named Lad, and when both of them saw each other for the first time in the university, it was a love at first sight scene between the two, and soon they got married. And Vera started dating each other, but it was only a short time since they started dating that Lad gave Vera this idea that why don't we move out of the university hostel and take a flat somewhere else and live comfortably there. We will live in it and this will make our life better, we will understand each other better. Vera also liked this idea very much. These people took this flat number 738 on rent in Pozzy area. Now both of them have shifted inside it. But the problem here was that after shifting here, Vera told her parents about the relationship, that I am living in this room with this boy, I am living in this flat and we both are not close to each other. They are in love and are going to get married in future, but when Oksana and Richard heard this, they felt that they should meet the boy once, they should see whether he is perfect for their daughter or not. And Richard came here to this flat number 738 and came here and met Blade, his daughter. They met Vera too and were very happy to see both of them, but as soon as they came out from here, Oksana called Vera and said that no, this boy doesn't seem right to me, I don't think you will be safe with him. But again Vera told her mother, she started to complain that no, I love him very much, I know about this, you should not worry about this at all. On the other hand, Richard also called Vera and explained to her that no, I do not understand the boy, he was behaving strangely when we came. But again Vera started convincing her father that no, we both are going to live together and we have taken this final decision. Now with Lad and Vera living here, it will be very difficult for us. Only about 3.5 months had passed inside the flat, and here the blues started showing their true colors. First of all, he flatly refused to pay the rent of this flat and said no to Vara. I don't earn any money like that, and neither do I want to live with my parents. I can ask my father for money to pay the rent etc., but Vera herself has raised the money for it. He paid the rent by asking his parents for it. In fact, after some time, his father stopped doing the household work as well. He clearly refused to do any small work like cleaning, cooking or anything else. Which obviously Vera also found very strange, but she discussed this with her parents that neither he is paying the rent nor he is helping me in any work. So her parents, he said that we were already telling you that we did not like the boy, You should keep distance from him as soon as possible. But again Vera felt that no, she can change the blood from inside in some way. She can change it, she can make it the same as it was before. After saying this, she explained to her parents on call that no, I am not going to do anything like this. We both will stay together, but the problem here was that in the coming time, instead of improving, Bald literally left everything. He did not do any work, neither did he ask for money from his home or earn anything himself. He was completely dependent on him, that only when Vera would ask for money from her parents, his house would run, or else whatever he does with drugs, drinks alcohol etc., Vera will bear all his expenses herself. Now Vera also started feeling that obviously this blood is using her in some way, be it money, physically or mentally. Yes, he is just dominating her in every way, and as soon as Vera understood this, she started telling Blood that look, if you want to do something then do some work, or else I will leave the flat and go back to my university hostel. I will go and start living there now. Blood found this thing very strange. Blood was afraid that if Vera left him, then who would bear his expenses, who would take care of him, who would cook food for him, who would feed him and who would feed him alcohol, and most importantly where would he stay, because he too had left the university hostel. But now Vera had to do something to get out of here. Fled now started calling Vera's brother Stanislaw and threatening him that you should leave your sister alone, explained to her that she should not talk to me after leaving me because I do not like this thing. If she leaves me then not only I will cause you but also she will be harmed a lot. Now as soon as Stanis LV heard this, he immediately told his sister. She called and told him why Flood was talking to her like this. Vara told everything to her brother Stanislav, what he was doing to her. He was using her for a long time, not only financially but mentally and physically. Physically in all three ways, and now I have to get out of here by any means. Unfortunately, if Stanislav had taken any action at that time then I would not be making this video today. But Stanislav ended that call by saying this right there, ignored, and after that no one followed him. She did not even take any action and time kept passing like this. The year 2020 had come, and in 2020, Vera was now fed up. Things had gone above Vera's head and now she had to leave from here. Leaving this flat here. She packed her things in a hurry and took only a few things and put the essentials in a bag, and after saying goodbye to Blood, she shifted back to her university hostel and started living comfortably with her roommate. She started living with him and told everything to her roommate, that what all I did with him during this time, how he was using me to traumatize me, so her roommate got a good idea about what was going on between these two. Vera started calling Blade again quite some time after moving in, because Blade was still living in the same flat, and not only was he living in the flat but Blade was also calling Vera's parents. Every month I request you to send me money so that I can pay the rent here, and think about it. Vera's parents were also sending money to Bald so that he could pay the rent of this flat. I don't know why they were sending it, but they were sending it. On the other hand, a lot of Vera's stuff is still in this flat. It was lying inside and Vera wanted all that stuff. She discussed it with her roommate many times that she wanted that stuff and how should she get it. Her roommate told her to call the Blood and tell him that all that stuff is hers. Pack it and hand it over here, or else if we get time someday, we will go ourselves and load all the stuff in a vehicle and bring it. Now this idea was very good. Vera started calling Bald and told him that my stuff is with you. You pack all the stuff and keep it with you. I will come after some time, or else you tell me, and if you have time then you can deliver the stuff to me. Blade also said there is no problem, but let the days pass like this. This Blade I kept giving pills to Vera saying come today, come tomorrow, or come some other time, I will give them to you myself, kept giving such pills. Finally the day of the 12th of January, 2021 had arrived when Bald himself called Vera and said that I have packed all your stuff. If you want, you can bring your car etc. here and take all your stuff and go now. Like Vera told this to her roommate that I got a call from Bald and he is calling me to his house to get his stuff etc. So why don't I go and get these things today? But Bald had said that today it is the 12th, you can come tomorrow, come anytime tomorrow, I will meet you here in the flat. So Vera said no problem, I will come on the 13th. Her roommate also said okay, you go and get your stuff and relax here. You can shift from there in a good way. The day of the 13th of January, 2021 had arrived. In the afternoon, Vera took a cab and went to the same flat number 738. Knocked the door. Blade opened the door from the front. Vera came in. She closed the door again and both of them went and sat on the sofa. Were sitting up. Vera was in a hurry now because she had to call a car, get all her luggage loaded and shift her back to the university hostel. Now as the two were sitting and talking, Blood said, "Why don't you stay with me tonight? You can take this stuff tomorrow, I myself will come with you to get this stuff released." But Vara clearly refused, saying that no, I cannot stay with you today. But once again Blood started requesting her that please tonight we'll have a little party and recall our old moments. We had some lovely memories. We'll recall them and drink alcohol etc. and spend a good time. I don't have any problem, you can take your stuff tomorrow. Also in a good condition, and after saying this Blade picked up the bottle kept on the side, picked up 2 glasses, placed the glasses on the table in front and poured liquor in both of them and added water. Now both of them were about to drink this peg. While drinking pegs, Blade started remembering old things. I started telling Vera that our relationship was very good, but now I know that you are dating some other boy. Still you left me from here and it is possible that you will soon shift with that boy too. But obviously Vera got very angry after hearing this. Because she has just come out of a relationship and she is in no hurry to get into another relationship. She clearly refused the boy, saying, "No, I am not dating any other boy, and if I do, then I will surely tell you right away. I have come here only to collect my stuff after drinking alcohol etc. I have not come here to discuss these things with you." Actually the next day, i.e. on the 13th of January, Vera was going to have some exam in the university and she had taken the exam on that day. To prepare for the exam, I had asked one of my friends to come to this flat at 6 p.m. so that he could quickly take his stuff and leave from here and go and prepare for his exam. So Vera was very busy in all these things. She does not want to study, she does not want to fight much with the flat, nor does she have to do any cleaning etc. Vera just had to take her luggage and leave from here. At 5:01 p.m., Vera started messaging her friend. She sent a lot of voice messages to her friend in which she was saying that around 6 p.m., she would be leaving this flat. "But bring your car, I will meet you downstairs with the luggage." Immediately after sending this message, another message was sent from Vera to that friend in which the voice of the Blood fighting with him from behind could be heard. In the message he was saying that no, you are not going to leave from here, while in return Vera was replying that no, I have to go now, do not stop me from here now, while in the third voice message Vera very secretly said, he quite literally just said in the message that come here quickly. This message was as if she was secretly hiding her phone in some way and sending this voice message to that friend. After this secretly sent message, the fourth voice message sent shows Blade and Vera fighting dirty. They were talking to each other and this voice message had reached that friend, after which I feel that after sending all these messages, the real fight must have started inside this room. A fierce fight had broken out between these two around evening time. It was already 7:1 and his friend had still not brought the car down so that he could take the luggage, but at 7:1 another voice message was sent from Ra's phone to his friend, and this message was not from Ra, rather it was sent by Blood, and this Blood was clearly saying in that message that leave both of us alone, we both want to sort out whatever problems are going on between us, so please do not do anything right now, don't come if you need the stuff. You can come tomorrow, I will get it loaded in your car myself, leave us both alone for now, don't try to come at all. The problem here was that the friend to whom these messages were sent, as soon as Blade sent the last message, he felt that both of them had actually sorted out whatever was going on between them. They are trying to do it and he should not get caught in between these two, so he did not go there with his car, but it was 3 o'clock in the night, which means the next day had arrived, the 13th of January, 2021 had arrived. At 3 o'clock in the night, very loud noises started coming from this room, and upon hearing these noises, the people living in the nearby flats, the families living there, all came out and went to 7:38. Many people stood outside this flat and started listening to what was going on inside. As soon as those people standing outside heard the loud screams of Vera from inside, they all felt that some big problem was going on inside. They started knocking the door very loudly, but nobody opened the door from inside. So, getting tired, the first call was made to the police around 3:05 in the morning, in which the neighbor explained that there was a thief here. Very dirty noises are coming from the door, someone has been beaten up inside, he is going, please come and take care of the matter here. After which around 6:05 p.m. another neighbor called the police and told them that a girl is screaming very loudly from inside and asking for help, but we cannot go inside because the main door of 738 is made of iron and is very strong and we cannot break it to go inside. We need your help. Please send your police here and handle the matter. Actually, this Bald did not have any plan to call Vera to him and give her the stuff and just send her away from here normally. No, He had made a very strong plan to call her here and make her drunk because he had made a lot of plans. He had kept all the stock of not only liquor but also beer and other dry intoxicants with him. He had a foolproof plan to somehow make Vera drunk and win her back. He will take her and get her shifted back to the same flat so that her expenses can be met. May it continue, he should not face any financial problems in life, but a lot of time was spent in drinking alcohol. A quarrel had started between these two, and around 8 p.m. this flame started torturing Vera. First she was the younger one. They had found a thick handcuffs which they were doing to each other, but after that this flood grabbed Vera by the hair and started kicking her in the face and made her sit down and started kicking her in the face, and poor Vera's head fell back sometimes. She would go and hit a door, sometimes a sofa or a table. She had become totally unconscious because of all this, but still she was a little conscious because she had to get out of here and go to her hostel room. Vera became conscious. After doing this, the bloody man took off his clothes and Vera's clothes and forcefully made physical relations with Vera while she was not in her conscious state at that time. Firstly, she was intoxicated, and secondly, she had injuries on her body which caused her to feel some pain. I did not even notice, but the pain that he felt because of the pain she was experiencing, she started screaming very loudly. Now the real problem started for this flat because the sound of these screams was going out of this flat and the neighbors around were listening to it, and when these neighbors informed the police, he started calling the police at that time, and the police on the call behind the call could hear Vera's screams because at that time, literally around 3 a.m., Vera was lying inside this flat right next to him. She was trying to save herself. She wanted someone to open this door somehow and save her. From here. Fled very scared, started pulling Viara away from that gate so that he could bring her inside and her voices could be heard. He could not go out, and to silence her he would repeatedly sit on her and put his hand over her mouth and press it so that she could not make any sound, but still Vera was screaming very loudly somehow. And now finally, to silence Vera, he went from his kitchen to the kitchen of the same flat and took a knife from there. He picked her up and came back, sat on top of Vera and stabbed her 5 times in the chest, but miraculously, Vera was still fully conscious and alive. He had done this on Vera to silence her, and he was lying in the bathroom still holding the knife in his hand. Anyway, people caught the blood and there was an uproar in the whole building that all this has happened to Vera, very serious. Vera has been murdered. After taking her body in their custody, finally the neighbors confronted the police again. Called him and said, "Father, please come now, the whole matter has been settled here. Now we are not even telling you to come here and save Vara, now take her body in your custody." And finally the police, when the doctors reached the spot, Vera's body was immediately taken for autopsy, and when the doctors saw Vera's corpse for the first time, they could not understand where to dissect the body because the body was already damaged. In this autopsy, the doctors wrote that this girl was killed not once but 3 times. She was killed not once but 3 times. Yes, Vera died not once but 3 times. The first time was when she was stabbed, and here when the doctors counted the number of knives stuck in her body, everyone was surprised that how could someone do this, because there were knives stuck not once, not twice, not 5 times, but a total of 106 times in Vera's body, which were longer than 11 centimeters. Long knives were used, the whole body was turned into a sieve. Now you can understand that is why poor Vera was screaming to save herself. In fact, death had already happened to her here, just to satisfy its mind. This blade attacked poor Vera's head from behind in such a way that her entire body was completely destroyed. His whole head had burst open from the back and his brain was hanging out. In fact, even here he did not calm down. He felt that Vera was still alive, and here he made the final attempt to kill Vera. He brought the landline wire and wrapped it around Vera's neck and sat on top of her and pulled it with such force that the poor thing's skin was cut and the wire literally cut and went deep into her throat. As if this was a local case, this case caught fire as soon as it was shown on news channels. People were talking about this case all over Russia, not because Vera was murdered here but because there was an opportunity here. The purpose was to save Vera because 1.5 hours are not a few in a country like Russia where the security it is so powerful. The police there are very powerful, and nobody was believing that they would do such a thing. Everybody was just thinking that if this has happened, then how did it happen? Why did the police not do their duty when the call was received at around 3 p.m? Then why did the police not send their vehicle to the spot to investigate? Then Michael Basilov, this police station who was in charge at that time, When asked said that yes sir Babuji, tell me what were you doing when you got the call. Then he showed the CCTV footage of his entire calling room where those calls were coming at that time. Some of these policemen were drinking tea. Second thing, these people, they are not bothered by the fact that calls are coming in which a woman is being tortured and her life is being said to be in danger. Rather, these policemen are bothered by the fact that the neighbor or the person making the call is in what behavior are they talking to them. Maybe you cannot understand this Russian language, but when I translated it, it was found out that these police officers were on call telling these neighbors, "Duenti, you have the manners to talk to a policeman?" When the murder had taken place and when the lady had made the last call at 7 p.m. inside this office, and the officer who took the call and was told that Vera has been murdered here, the officer said, "Yes sir, tell us what can we do in this?" Literally, these were the answers of these policemen to those neighbors when Michael Baslow was interrogated. He was brought into the room and asked why he did not send help here. So listen to his answer. He said that, "Sir, I had only one petrol vehicle, which means I had only one PCR, and I had filled that PCR with my staff for the investigation of another case. I had received a call earlier also in which another old man was murdered and that petrol car had gone to the crime scene, whereas when other police officers investigated the case it was revealed that here the car was parked, and when Michael Baslow was asked that you had the car, you were saying that it was at another crime scene but it has gone, you also had another car." Then Michael Baslow said that, "Sir, it is true that there was another car but there was no petrol in it, there was no fuel in it." Just think about it, what kind of excuses these policemen were going to make for there to save you. This case went to the court, and when the judge investigated the whole case to see what might have happened in this case, then first of all the judge held 3 policemen guilty in this case because these people were the main accused in the case. This is a conspiracy because these people could have taken action even if there was no fuel in the vehicle and there were many other precautions that they should have taken. They should have done their duty, but they did not do it, due to which all these 3 police officers were suspended from duty. But after 1.5 years all 3 were reinstated. Here also justice was not delivered, and when Lad was presented in the court he told all his horror that why he killed Vera. He said that, "Sir, we were drinking alcohol and while drinking he kept on telling me to go again and again. She was insisting, but I did not want to send her. I wanted her to sleep with me tonight so that we could do something, but she repeatedly insisted on going. I tried to stop her but she attacked me. I started fighting with her and in the meanwhile she got hurt a bit more and she fell down, after which she started screaming loudly while falling down. I was just wishing that Vera should somehow shut up. I told her many times to keep quiet and not shout like that, but Vera did not keep quiet and kept shouting continuously, and I got angry now because I was afraid that hearing her shouts the neighbors would wake up and they would complain against me to the police. The police will arrest me, that's why I did all this, just to silence him." You silenced him in a very wrong way. When Ra's body was handed over to the funeral home, because now his last rites had to be done, and as I had said, I have already told you in my stories that in foreign countries, the dead bodies are made up so that when everybody sees them, they just feel like that. It seems that yes, this person is still alive, he is just sleeping, no one should feel weird seeing him. But when Vera's dead body came to the funeral home and when those people started doing Vera's makeup, those people folded their hands because it took 3 days. For 3 whole days he kept doing Vera's makeup, but even then he could not bring Vera's dead body in a condition where people could see it. Her mother Oksana clearly refused to do the makeup, etc. "Leave me, let me perform the last rites of my daughter." Finally, on the 28th of July, 2022, the verdict came on this case in which Flood was sentenced to 17 years in jail, that too non-bailable, but the twist here was that in April 2023, when Vera's mother Okna reached her, was played on the phone and he immediately went and joined the army and started his job in the army. Seeing this, Okna called the media again and held a press conference in front of them and said that today my daughter's body is in the grave, rotting away while her elves are comfortably at their jobs. The main culprits were 3, all the main culprits, or who got punished and how much punishment, nobody knows. I know this case was very, very common. There was nothing twisty in it, but what I am trying to explain to you is an eye-opener for us. There are many girls in USA who ruin their lives by falling into the trap of wrong boys. They shift with them or make a relationship with them and they think that this boy will be their everything in the future. Apart from him, they have no life. But in the coming time, when this boy shows his true colors, shows his real form, then those girls realize that no, this boy is wrong, but by then it is too late. I am not just explaining this to girls. There are many boys too who are victims of domestic violence. Their partners beat them up or the boys beat up their partners, The world has reached a very bad state. So you should think about whom you are making your partner in life, because this decision will remain yours for life and it will be your wrong step. It will pain you for the rest of your life. You will have to cry. Here Vera made a mistake when her parents were telling her that they did not like the boy. Look, our parents are grown-up people. They have lived longer than us. They have celebrated more bankruptcies than us. So they have more experience too. If we listen to our parents, then there is nothing wrong in it. They will say it for our good only. Of course, at that time that thing may seem wrong to us, even if our parents seem wrong to us, but at the end, when we see the results, then we will feel that we should have listened to him. So guys, goodbye for a day. I will come back with another story. Thank you for watching.